Okay, before we start, let us pay respect to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today is our 4th week of the basic meditation course. We also had a memorial service of the 2 great monks, the founder of Mangalavihara Buddhist temple, late Bhante Cittara, and the founding principal of Buddhist and Pali College of Singapore, Bhante Cittara. Today, I also would like to congratulate 2 young Sri Lanka monks, Bhante Silananda and Bhante Sunita, who have put in their efforts to do all these online services. Without their effort, without their skill, we cannot do all these things. So I would like to express a big thanks to these 2 monks. Okay. Today is the 4th week of our meditation course. Before we continue, I would like to answer some questions. This is the last week. One is, I noticed that I take my every breath with every step. After a while, and that means after a step, taking the breath. I think it's okay, but you don't have to confuse these 2 meditation objects. When I'm doing walking meditation, we just try to meditate only on the steps or the movement of our legs, not on the breath. So, is it no problem for you? Every breath with every step, but meditation object should be your steps or the movement of your step. During walking meditation, when I stop to turn, I always turn do I always turn in one direction or left, right? Does not matter. It does not matter. But if you always turn in that position, I think you are likely to turn the same position. In fact, so long as you know that your body is turning, the turning process, then it should be all right. But as I said earlier, if you always turn like this, then you are likely to turn in that way. Just need some practice. Good afternoon, Bhante. During the meditation, is it okay to swallow saliva? Of course, you cannot do any other thing. Naturally, when we do meditation, before we have deep concentration, sometimes you might feel a lot of saliva in your mouth, or maybe sometimes you feel your mouth is dry, no matter what. These are part and parcel of meditation practice. Yes, you might swallow. In Singapore, you cannot spit out, okay? Then swallow your saliva mindfully and mentally note swallowing. At least trying to be mindful that you are swallowing your saliva, okay? Then, hello Bhante, what is the difference between mindfulness meditation and insight meditation with Paisner. This question will be answered next week. I will talk about the difference between mindfulness, concentration meditation, and insight meditation called Vipassana. It's okay to bounce right and left because after a while, when I find myself lighter, in fact, it's okay. In meditation, we cannot say it's not okay. So long as you are mindful of what you are doing, then okay. But to be honest, we do not bounce when we do meditation. Try to slow down even our action as much as possible. For your physical exercise, it's okay, you do what you want, but it's not about the meditation. Okay? But I don't say you cannot do it. But for your physical exercise, please do. By the meditation, not necessary to bounce. Ikayano ayam bhikkhave maggo. Monk mindfulness is the only way, as in Satipatthana Sutta. What does it mean? Difference between mindfulness and one-pointedness. Okay, for the second part of this question will be answered next week. Ikayano ayam bhikkhave maggo. Monk mindfulness is the only way. In fact, it's not only the mindfulness. Mindfulness is doing only its duty. But when we're doing mindfulness, there are some other mental energies as well, like an effort, and a clear comprehension, concentration. All these faculties might get involved. What the Buddha meant here is, this is the way, the only way means mindfulness, mindfulness to concentration. Then concentration to insight or vipassana. This is the only one way. If we are not mindful, our mind is not concentrated. If our mind is not concentrated, we are not going to see the reality or the way it is and the way they are. This is the only one way here means mindfulness. Then in order to be mindful, we need to put efforts, and we must have a clear comprehension. So-called, we must be able to see in our breath clearly and a clear comprehension. After that, mindfulness, the concentration follows. When our mind is concentrated, then we're going to realize we come to understand the nature of the characteristics of all these phenomena. So the only one way does not mean the mindfulness. The only one way means mindfulness, mindfulness to concentration, concentration to wisdom. In that way. Good afternoon, Bhante. You mentioned we should try to take 20 to 30 breaths before meals or before driving off. If I have to count my breath, then my concentration will be focused on the counting and not on the breath. So how do I count without losing my focus on my breathing? In fact, just estimate time. What I say, 20 to 30 breath need estimate times. Or if you cannot focus on your breath without counting, then I suggest to count your breath. Okay? Maybe a few minutes. Okay, you can focus on your breath without counting, then please don't count. And that means before your meals, at least sit down and be mindful. Then you take your lunch, dinner, your meal mindfully. So you initiate your mindfulness. And whatever you do, then you do mindfully. So 20 to 30 steps is just estimate duration of time. Okay, then you can, if you can concentrate without counting your breath, don't count your breath. This I just say that. So in fact, 20 to 30 breath is just estimate. If you can do longer, of course, that could be better. The longer, the better. Okay, this is just estimate duration of time. That's all I received. The questions from last week. If you have further more questions, please write your comments on our Facebook. So today, let us answer this question. Where is the best place to do meditation? By the teaching in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta or in any other places, the Buddha always advised a suitable place. Maybe either in the forest, or maybe under a tree, or maybe in a quiet and secluded place. Yes, especially for monks. A monk may go into the forest and do meditation, or sitting under a tree, or even we don't go to the forest, then we can find a suitable and quiet and quite secluded place. Is it true when people around you are keep on talking and chit-chatting, then that will be very hard to concentrate. Okay, this is the ideal place. In this modern life, in this modern society, my question is, where is the quiet place in Singapore? If we cannot find a quiet place, we cannot do meditation? This is the second question. In fact, it's not. As I discussed last week, if we're doing mindfulness meditation, we can do meditation anytime, anywhere. It's not a big deal. If you're mindful, if you can concentrate on your breath, then no problem. You can do meditation. What you need is, you need effort. If your effort and if your energy is not strong enough, you cannot do meditation. In order to be mindful, we always need effort or energy. It's like a petrol. If you are keep on driving, the engine is taking off the petrols. We need to fill up the petrol. The same way, if we are doing meditation, our energy is slowly and by minute, second by second, it's just running out. So we need to fill up some more energies after doing meditation for some times. That's why I always, the first week, that's why I say, after sitting for 5 or 10 minutes, then check your body. We are losing our energy. If you lose your energy, your body starts to bend down in that way. It's signaling you're losing energy. That's so, if you feel so that, then you need to keep your upper body upright. Then that means, not only you are keeping your upper body upright, the same way you are filling up or putting some more energies in order to further more meditation practice. So, first of all, we need effort. Without energy, we cannot do it. Then the mindfulness, of course, we are doing the mindfulness meditation. Then the same way, here in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the clear comprehension. This clear comprehension means you are fully aware of your breathing or movement of your stomach very clearly. When the air goes out, you clearly see that. When the air comes in, you clearly see that. In, out, in, out, in, out. Gives me clear comprehension. So, even though the Buddha's advice or the Buddha showed the ideal place to do meditation, the forest, on the under tree, on a quiet and secluded place, it does not mean if we cannot find that place, we cannot do meditation. We can still do our meditation. But we need effort or energy, need to put effort again and again. Then must be mindful, must pay attention to our meditation object. And same way, we must try to see the object clearly. So mindfulness and an effort and a clear comprehension. All these three things are necessary to do the meditation. If we have all these three, we can do meditation anywhere. Any place can be our meditation object, also meditation time. Then sometimes we say, always ask this question, that's very noisy, and because of the cars and the MRT are passing and moving around, then when very noisy place, how can we focus on? That's true. Is it true? The sound is the problem of a concentration. Is it true? When we have a quieter place, more secluded place, this would be much better. This is true. The sound is the enemy of concentration. However, like I said, in Singapore, we find it's very difficult to find very quiet places. Only when you go to the Senior Islands or the other small islands, then the environment should be quieter. Otherwise, we cannot avoid it. So then that means we cannot do anything about the external objects, like the sounds and the smell, or all these things. All these things will appear into our minds via or through the sense doors, eye doors, ear doors, and so. We cannot stop them. But remember, we can be mindful. We cannot do anything about all these external objects, sound, smell. However, we can be mindful on these objects. This is a very important one. So, practically, I always say, let us say you may probably think in Singapore is like our temple, Mangala Vihara. This is quite noisy. This is not a good place to do meditation. So I don't think so. You probably think it's because of the noises. You cannot do meditation. Then you may expect, if you go to some other places, like in the forest meditation centers, whether in Malaysia, in Thailand, or even our country in Myanmar, the place will be more secluded and quieter. But do not think that your meditation experience would definitely be better in those places. Another thing is, when we are in a quiet place, our mind sometimes tends to be more active. When you're talking with the others, your mind, you do not have much thoughts. But when you are staying alone, nobody's around, and in a quiet place, then sometimes your mind tends to be more active. Then that means you are thinking a lot of things. That will be our problem. That will be your problem as well. That's why even though the quiet and the remote places are better for meditation, however, we must know that there will be also some problems and some hindrances as well. Like in Singapore, yes, quite in our temple, maybe some noises are there, cars and MRT. However, there is no mosquito. There's no ants. If you go to the other forest meditation centers, yes, it's quieter. and more secluded. But remember, sometimes there will be some mosquitoes. How can you avoid this? So there's no sound, there's no noise, but there are mosquitoes. Then you choose which one is better. To me, sound can overcome it. Mosquito is very difficult to overcome it. And also I jokingly say, let us say you use a mosquito net and you're sitting on in a mosquito net. Maybe the small mosquito, young mosquitoes, is so thin and so tiny, so skinny, that somehow the mosquito try to sneak into your mosquito net. After sucking your blood, the fellow becomes bigger, and mosquito gets bigger. Then cannot go out. They come in, yes, all right, because the body mosquito is too small. But when you try to go out after sucking the blood, cannot go out anymore because the body is so big. Then they will be flying around your ears, making irritating sounds. This is a problem. So then what will you do? You keep the precept, you cannot kill the mosquito. Then you lift your mosquito net and then let it go out. No way. One go out, 5 will come in. So this is my experience. Though I say, do not expect if I go to the forest meditation centers and I could do meditation work in Singapore, in Mangala, we are the Buddhist temple, it's quite noisy, that's why I cannot do meditation. No, it's not right. Here's some noises, but there's no mosquitoes. If you go to remote places, the forest meditation centers, it's quiet, yes. However, some mosquitoes and ants are there. So do not postpone your time, do not delay your time to do meditation. So for this question, the place where you are is the best place to do meditation. Okay? For this question, where is the best place to do meditation? My answer is the place where you are right now is the best place to do meditation. Okay, let's go to the second topic. Morality and concentration. This is the Buddhist teaching, the Buddha's teaching. First generosity, then morality, then meditation. Morality will help our meditation practice. First of all, that's why before you do meditation, at least you need to keep at least 5 precepts. Don't think about your past. You may have broken some precepts. Don't think about all these things. If you keep on thinking that, you will get regrets. If you have broken some precepts. But once you sit down to do the meditation, keep the precepts and decide not to break these rules. If our morality is strong and firm and unshakable, then we have a confidence. If you have no such confidence, you cannot do meditation. So I would like to discuss an example of the Venerable Angulimala. I believe if you're Buddhist, you already know about the Angulimala. After he became a monk, reflecting his evil action, he could not meditate well. Because Ahimsaka, the former name, took nearly 1,000 people's lives. So this is a very heinous wrongdoings. So whenever you try to do meditation, all these thoughts appeared in his mind, regrets and remorse. He cannot do meditation. That's why the Buddha taught him, since I became an arhat, or since I became the son of the Buddha, since I became the disciple of the Buddha, I never take anyone's life intentionally. limited time. If he always reflect the whole life, his mind is not ready to do meditation. That's why he have to limit his time. Since I became the disciple of the Buddha, I have never taken anyone's life. Then he had confidence. His mind is clear. His mind is pure. Then he was able to do meditation, and he achieved to the arhatsu. In that way, yes, our morality will help our meditation. Okay, for those who had the not very good path, forget about it when you are doing meditation. But keep the 5 precepts at least. Then you build up your confidence. Since I'm taking this precept, I decide not to break. Then you determine yourself. Only when you determine yourself, then you can carry on your meditation. Then we call this the morality. In Pali, it's a sila. Sila is 2 types: avoiding and practicing. One morality is to be avoided. Another one is to be practiced. So, like in the 5 precepts, all these are to be avoided. Not to kill, not to steal, so on. These are called avoiding. Morality to be, actions to be avoided. Actions and speeches to be avoided. Another type of the morality is actions and speeches to be practiced. So to be practiced. Even though we call it the morality, something which is very close to meditation is, in Pali, Indriya Samvara Sila. Restraining our senses. This is a morality. It's not meditation yet. Restraining our senses. Then that means eyes. We cannot close our eyes. We cannot stop visible objects. The only one thing is, after seeing it, we stop for going too sight. We see something, if we don't like it, we get angry. If we like it, we get craving, attachments. That's why, after seeing this, trying to be mindful at this level, seeing, I'm seeing, is it called restraining our senses. The same way hearing, when you're hearing, try to stop there. If not, we decide or we differentiate whether it's good or bad. If something is good, craving arises. If something is bad, we dislike, then anger arises. So before we move to that craving and anger, that's one point to stop. Okay, when you're hearing, just take a note that you are hearing. This means restraining our senses. We cannot avoid all these things. We cannot avoid these external objects. Visible objects will be there. Audible objects will be there. Smells around will be there. Cold and hot, the environment will always be there. Good and bad taste will always be there. Good thought and bad thoughts will always be there. We cannot stop these external objects. What we can train is our mind. So, in meditation, this morality, so-called restraining our body, restraining our senses, is very close to meditation and is very helpful to our meditation. So, sila, morality. So here, avoiding and practicing. This is restraining our senses. It's a practicing morality. Even though we call it morality, it's very close to meditation. If we see too many things, our mind gets distressed more. That's why we cut down. the views. So when we are doing walk, when we are sitting, we close our eyes. Even when we are doing walking meditation, we don't look too far. So it's also part of the restraining our senses. Hearing, we cannot stop the sound. Smell, we cannot stop all these smell. Then we just can restrain our senses. So this is morality directly related to our meditation. Without morality, it's very, very difficult to do meditation. In the same way, another practice, so another mentality, you see, patient. When we are doing meditation, this mentality is very, very important. If we are not patient enough, we cannot do meditation. A lot of feeling, forget about the external objects. Even the internal problems are a lot. Pain, numbness, stiffness, itchiness, all these. That's why at least we try to be patient as much as possible. Pain, whenever you feel pain and you change your sitting position. In that way, you will never have a deeper concentration. So need to be a bit more patient. Pain, numbness, stiffness, itchiness. Some people say it might happen, it might affect my physical body. If I sit for 2 hours, no problem. As long as your physical body is concerned, if you do not have any problems, sitting for 2 hours is not a big deal. You can do it, no problem. No problem. The one thing is sometimes we are not patient enough. So when we do meditation, we need to be a bit more patient. This is also morality. It's a mentality. We train our mind, practice morality to be practiced. Then also the contentment. If we want this and that, I don't like this, I don't like that, if we always choosy, that will be quite difficult to do meditation. So, except restraining our senses, we need at least patience and contentment. Without patience and without contentment, our meditation will be very slow to get progress. So in order to get the progress of meditation, first of all, we must have a confidence in our precepts. Do not think about the past. Once you sit down to do meditation, keep the precepts. Keep precepts. Then you build up your confidence. If you have a morality, you have a confidence. If you do not have a morality, you do not have a confidence. Okay? So after keeping the precepts, try to follow this. Restrain your senses as much as possible, including eyes. Don't look here and there. Then seeing too many things, you cannot concentrate. Same way, trying to train your mind. Stop at the seeing level. Stop at the hearing level. Stop at the smelling level. Stop at the sensation level. Do not go. Try not to go beyond that. Then also, another type of the morality to be practiced is patience and contentment. These qualities will help our meditation practice and meditation experience. Okay? So my last topic is how to keep our physical body and mind in balance. In the Buddhist teaching, it's called 5 faculties, Pancha Palani. These are the Buddha's advice how to keep our body and mind to be imbalanced. If our body is not in balance, we cannot do meditation. We need a healthy body. We need a balanced body. Same way mentalities. Our mind must be in balance. So here the Buddha said 2 pairs. First pair is faith and wisdom. faith and wisdom, or sometimes we translate belief. Okay, never mind. In this context, let us translate as a faith. So the Buddha advises, faith and wisdom or knowledge must be in balance. If we have too much faith, then we tend to believe anything. So we call it blind faith. Because too strong faith is leading us to have a blind faith, without analyzing, without thinking, without proper concentration, then we could easily accept in the daily life. Then how about the other part, other extreme? When we have too much knowledge, if we analyze it too much, then we found nothing to believe in. It's another extreme. We have too much knowledge, and if we analyze it too much, then we found nothing to believe in. It's also another extreme. The Buddha advises to keep these two in balance. Faith, also energy, is also strength. Without faith, we cannot do all these things. Faith is very, very important. But the one thing quite interesting is, at the basic level, the Buddha always praised about the faith. But the higher level, faith is not really important. So Noble Eightfold Path, there's no faith. Same as the 7 factors of the enlightenment, there's no faith. So then faith is basic level, is very, very important, very instrumental. Without faith, we will not do all these things. So at the basic and the beginner level, faith is very important and instrumental. However, in the Buddhist teaching, the faith alone will never be enough. So here, in the first pair, the Buddha says, faith and knowledge must be kept in balance. Too much faith tend to be a blind faith. Too much knowledge, too much analysis without faith, nothing to believe in. So when we do the meditation, we need the faith. So let us say, last week somebody asked, how about the reflecting the qualities of the Buddha or Buddha-nusati? Yes, it is a good thing to do. We reflect the qualities of the Buddha. After reflecting it, we felt it. This is our greatest teacher. Then our belief in the Buddha gets stronger. We are fully confident about our teacher. So when we have full confidence of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, we have faith, strong faith. So last week I answered for the yes, is it true? Is it good? We should reflect the qualities of the Buddha before we do meditation. The longer you do meditation, the need more help of the Buddha, from the Buddha. Only when we reflect the qualities of the Buddha, we are stronger. Our faith is stronger. Then we can do longer. Then traditionally, sometimes people are trying to strengthen their faith in the Buddha or belief in the Buddha by offering his body and the mind to the Buddha. This is the one way of strengthening our faith or belief. Let us say you are going to do meditation for 1 hour. Remember, without faith, you will not last it. So traditionally, all our pioneer teachers advise us, if you are going to do meditation for 1 hour, offer your body and the mind to the Buddha. From now onwards, this body and mind belong to the Buddha. It's not my body, not my mind anymore. Then, even though you want to stop your meditation, you know that this is not my body, I have to do it. If the mosquito comes and bites you, at least you can say, oh, this is not my body anymore. I already offered to the Buddha. The mosquito is biting not my body. The body is already offered to the Buddha. The body belongs to the Buddha. The Buddha will not kill the mosquito who come to suck the blood. Okay? So in that way, we must strengthen our faith. Without faith and without belief in the Buddha, after meditating for 10, 20 minutes, you got bored and you got tired and you stop. Okay? So first pair, so here, wisdom, sometimes our meditation techniques. In fact, you do not need much knowledge of the meditation. Today is the 4th week. I'm sure you know what the meditation is about. Meditation is trying to be mindful of what we are doing. That's all. Sometimes we may sit, then we're trying to be mindful on sitting. When you are sitting, there is no any other action except the breathing. Then we're trying to be mindful. We're mindful on it. Then sometimes we have to go out. Okay, go. Meditation won't stop you. Then you're trying to be mindful on what you are walking. That's what you are walking. Sometimes you may have to stand. Okay, be mindful. Sometimes you may have to lie down. Okay, be mindful on it. No, sometimes you may have to drink water. Okay, be mindful on it. Sometimes you may need to adjust your clothing. Okay, be mindful. These are our daily activities. Meditation means trying to be mindful on our daily activities, daily movement, our bodily actions, and our mind and our thoughts. If we are mindful, then our mind is not too extremely bad. Stay under control. Okay, that's why in the meditation practice, it's quite simple, you know. When you go to meditation center, the meditation instruction lasts only for half an hour. It's enough. After half an hour instruction, just go and do meditation yourself. So meditation instructions are like the other machines. When you buy the new machines, instructions are there. In order to switch on, press this one. They say clearly, not so complicated. In order to switch off, press this button. In meditation practice is the same. When you want to do this, okay, press this one. When you want to stop this, press this one. Meditation instruction, all instructions are very short and very clear. We don't have to analyze it. I mean for the meditation instructions. If you analyze the machine instruction, then you may spoil your machine, new machines. Or the machine instructions say, if you want to switch on, press this one. It say, if you want to switch off, press this one. So you may want to go against it. Okay, why this press? Have to press this one. Why not the other one? If you are pressing the wrong one, then you might get trouble as well. So in meditation, the other knowledge, of course, we have to ask the questions. However, for the instruction, it's the safest way is just do what you have to do. Then should be all right. We do not need too much knowledge of the Buddhist teachings. So long as we are mindful, then it should be all right. So, okay, let me summarize. First pair is faith and knowledge. The Buddha advised, faith and knowledge must be kept in balance. One must not be stronger than the others. Is a problem. So keep the balance. Okay? In practice, second pair is more important and more practical. This one is concentration and energy. Energy or effort. Effort and concentration must be kept in balance. If you have a too strong energy, naturally we cannot concentrate on anything, not only the meditation. But if we have a too little energy, we can't do as well. Okay? So our energy level must be correct and right. That's why I always say, after about 10 or 15 minutes meditation, check your energy, then let me check your body position. If your body position is upright, then your energy is considered all right. If you try too hard, then your mind gets distressed, cannot concentrate. Another one is concentration. Sometimes the concentration tends to be a bit down. In fact, actually not. It's more like a sleepy mind. And scientifically, they might say the subconsciousness. But when we have a deeper concentration, or when you have some concentration, meditators fall asleep even while they are meditating. It's also natural, part and parcel of meditation. If you cannot concentrate your mind always wandering, you will not fall asleep. Then you can concentrate on meditation object, and your concentrated mind is matched equally. Then meditators tend to be sleepy, tend to be drowsy. If they do not put some more effort, they are likely to fall asleep. So in practice, these two are very, very important. Effort and concentration must be kept in balance. That's why before we do the meditation, be relaxed. Not too relaxed. Then that means, be relaxed means you do not have too much energy. You are not too keen to do that. You are relaxed. So we say, physically as well as mentally, need to be relaxed. Then that means we're trying to balance our energy level. For about 5-10 minutes, okay, be relaxed. If you have too much energy, your mind cannot concentrate. You are consuming your energy, then sometimes later you are losing out your energy. Then your body bend down and slowly, then finally fall asleep. Okay, that's why slowly and gradually you need to fill up your energy. Then that means you are balancing your energy. Then same way, like I said, when you cannot concentrate, then we don't feel sleepy. If you are very new meditator, if you're very beginner, your mind is always keep on running from here and there, from this object to that object. You will not be sleepy because your mind is too active. Then when you can't concentrate, then the problem, you fall asleep quite often. It's a nice thing to do as well. So concentration in a sleeping mind is quite similar, in fact. If we do not put some more energy, if we are concentrating on any particular object, then we fall asleep. In meditation and meditation practice, the second pair will be very, very important. You need to check your body. So, say, concentration may get sleepier because the object is so subtle, so gentle. The breath is so smooth because of the concentration. If your concentration is not deep enough, your breath is keep on changing sometimes, very often, too short, too deep, too shallow, too long. But when you have concentration, deep concentration, the breath becomes very smooth and very soothing. Same like listening to the soothing music. If you are listening to the soothing music, you are fully concentrating on that music, then you are likely to fall asleep. Same way, we are focusing on this object. The object is so smooth, so gentle, and I have concentration. That's why it's easier to focus on each and every breath, then we are likely to fall asleep. At this situation, then that means your concentration is too deep and too strong, and your energy is too weak and too little. Then that means you need to put some more energies. You need to put some more energies. How can we put some more energies? May I repeat it again? You may sit like this. You can concentrate very well in that position. Even though your body is not 100% upright, you are not falling asleep. You are okay, stay all right. But at that moment, you may doze off quite often. It means your energy is not fully energized. Then we say, okay, don't let yourself fall asleep. Energize yourself again. Put some more energies again. In which way? Keep upright. Physically. Physically, if you keep upright, it means you are energizing yourself. You are filling up your energies again. Then you try to meditate again. If you have a deeper concentration, more or less you may likely to bend down slowly. So this one is a very, very important pair. First, for the beginners, we have likely to have enough energy for 1 or 10 minutes. But later, if we do not fill up, energy runs out. Then we fall asleep. And then sometimes later, we got concentration. When we have a concentration, we tend to be sleepy. First of all, heaviness. You feel a little bit heavy. Then you may feel the drowsiness. Then slowly you feel sleepiness. You feel sleepy. If you fail to put some more energy, then you fall asleep. So the Buddha said, effort and energy must be kept in balance. If you have too strong energies, you can't concentrate. You are floating. But if you have a too strong concentration, you tend to fall asleep. Your attention, your awareness is not sharp enough. In order to get sharper and sharper again, we need to fill up our energy level. This one pair is more important in practice. How can we keep them in balance? The Buddha said, mindfulness. Mindfulness is the key. If you are mindful on your body, you can keep these two pairs in balance. Mindfulness is the key. Mindfulness is a balancer. If we lose mindfulness, our mentality is in balance. So always must be mindful, not only in the body, as well as our mind. If we are fully mindful, these two pairs will be in balance. So let me summarize about this one. The basic teachings of the Buddha, we call it Panchabalani. To those who are Abhidharma students, I'm sure you will know these two pairs. So the Buddha's advice is, faith and knowledge must be kept in balance. One must not be stronger than the others. Second pair, effort and energy must be kept in balance. One must not get stronger than the others. Who will balance it? Mindfulness is the balancer. Physical body, check your physical body. If you're too sleepy, you try, stay sleepy, then what to do? No choice. Don't sit. Don't do sitting meditation. Do walking meditation. And that means if you are sitting, you don't need to put much effort. Or if you do walking meditation, you need to put more energies. In that way, you can drive your sleepiness and drowsiness and laziness away. That's why after having lunch, it's not advisable to do sitting meditation because it's encouraging the sleepiness. So if we have full stomach, do walking meditation. After lunch, before lunch, you can do sitting meditation. Of course, if you're not too hungry, you can do it. But after lunch, it's not advisable to do sitting meditation, just do walking meditation. In that way, one way or another, we can keep our body and the mind in balance, especially our mind. Mindfulness is the balancer. So for the mind, the last topic is how to keep our body and the mind and the balance. The key is the mindfulness. But the other four also we need it. The only one is if they got too strong, then we will have side effects. Mindfulness never get too strong. Mindfulness is always a balancer. Okay, this is my teaching for the 4th week. For your practice, I'll go back to walking meditation. The first week when I talk about the walking meditation, I say only maybe 2 or 3 stages in one step. If you pay attention to your steps naturally become slower and slower. When your steps get slower and slower, then it takes longer, then you need to add some more nodes. It's not fixed one, up to you. I say when you are moving, you are lifting, moving forward, and then putting down. So 3 stages in one step. Lifting, moving forward, and then putting down. It's up to you. How do you differentiate your movement? It's up to you. You can use your own language, no problem. So long as you're aware of the movement, it's all right. Okay? So maybe when your steps get slower and slower, maybe you try to meditate maybe 4 nodes. Lifting, moving forward, or maybe lowering down, touching the floor. Then 4 stages, for example. Is it up to you? Lifting, moving forward, and then lowering down, and then pressing on the floor. Is it only in your mind? 4 stages in one step. Then 4 stages in one step. Do not try to get slow purposely. Just pay attention to your steps. When you pay attention to your steps, then your step gets slower. This is natural. When your step becomes slower, there will be more stages to be mindful. But at home, I don't think your actions will be slower than that without going to meditation centers. At home, maybe 3 stages or 4 stages in one step should be enough. If you are quite used to with walking meditation practice, please try to add 1 more note. Lifting, moving forward, and then lowering down, and then pressing on the floor. Then another one, lifting, moving forward, pushing forward, and lowering down, and stepping on the floor. In that way, do it. Your action will be slower. In walking meditation, the slower, the better. Let me say, we are not meditating on these stages. In fact, we're trying to meditate on the element inside the body, mechanism of the body. We call it element. So we cannot see the element now. That is why we are meditating on these movements. When we have a deeper concentration, we don't see all these things. We see the elements. Okay? No, we cannot see the elements. That's why we are meditating on the stages of the movement. Okay? This is for your homework. Meditation time maybe should be the same. Maybe 15 minutes sitting for meditation for 16 minutes, 15 minutes, and trying to do walking meditation 15 minutes. Okay? And during this COVID circuit breaks periods, I think at least you will have half an hour to 45 minutes time to do meditation, and I hope and I expect you to do as well. Then not only that, I would like to read your comments based on your experience, based on your difficulties and challenges. I'll try to help as much as I could based on my experience and based on my teacher's advice as well. Okay, so your homework also giving. I'll conclude my for the week meditation course here. Thank you very much, and I wish you all safe and well, especially free from coronavirus. Thank you very much.